Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to a CRN broadcast here tonight. We have the National Sim Racing Retro Cup Series Gen 4 League here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. A .52 mile track, D-shaped oval. It's going to be a weird turn 1. It's going to be a weird turn 3. You're going to see a lot of these drivers get a little bit loose going into the corners, coming out of the corners. There's going to be mayhem probably everywhere. So definitely want to watch and see what happens there. But the track temperature is going to be 70 degrees with a 65 air temp. And a little bit of wind there, 5 miles an hour. It's not that big of a deal with the wind, but it could change the way of the race is handled. Practice is over as of right now. Everybody's going to be out there getting ready to go and get their laps in. 400 laps here at Myrtle Beach. It's definitely going to be something fun to watch here tonight. I am the only one in the broadcast booth here tonight, so it's definitely going to be fun. Hopefully everybody puts on a good show for everything out here tonight. So if there's anybody you want to be out there cheering for, watching for, just go ahead and let me know in the broadcast chat, and I will get as much airtime on them as I possibly can, as we have Stody Benfield out here getting ready to throw down some qualifying laps. And this will just go to show you how big this track really is, perspective-wise. I mean, these drivers aren't going to be able to be all the way up to speed, but it's going to be something different to do, as Stody Benfield going to lock it down, reset, and try his qualifying one more time. Currently out there right now is Andy Reeves, and that number 24 smacks the outside wall there. He's not going to be able to get that lap in. Robert Lawrence gets a little bit loose, and that's what I was talking about, a little bit looseness coming out of the corner. And you've seen Robert Lawrence get loose on his second lap. Matty D. Clark sitting on a pole here tonight with a 19.028, and Matty Clark gets a little bit out of shape there. Brian Wiggins in the number 5 CarQuest coming around to take his second lap here. He's going to be the only one to hit 2 laps out here tonight, as his second time was not going to be faster. Stody Benfield, our resident pastor, he's going to try to get a quick lap in here tonight. He goes second quickest on the boards with a 19.232. So Stody Benfield sitting P number 2. I'm going to go ahead and see if Justin Cope and then number 28 machine, see what kind of lap time he can get. But while these drivers are getting ready to do their getting ready to get their laps in, I'm going to go ahead and look at Mr. Johnny Taylor. We're going to go ahead and bring in Mr. Stony Benfield to give tonight's invocation. And Stony, this is Dylan in the broadcast booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, Dylan, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Good, sir. We've seen you have a little bit of trouble there in qualifying, but nonetheless sitting at P number 2. And, like we said a couple weeks ago, we're going to start bringing you in here to give the night's invocation, send us off with a little bit of a prayer, and wish these drivers just the best of luck.
Okay, 10-4. You tell me when you're ready.
Oh, sir, I'm always ready to hear a great an invocation from a good friend of mine.
Okay, let's have a word of prayer together. Everybody's listening. Lord, we thank you for the great night you've given us. And I pray that we'd all just have fun and glorify your name. Thank you for Jesus Christ that's done all the work for us, and we trust him. It's in his name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Well, Stody, thank you for doing that here again for us tonight. And hopefully we get to see you on the track, passing some guys and getting up there to the top. And we wish you all the best of luck up here in the broadcast booth.
Well, I sure appreciate it. I messed up on my qualifying there. I was trying to put some heat in the tires on the first lap and got a black flag. So, anyway, we'll see what happens.
Well, Always know it's not where you start, it's where you finish, sir.
That's right. Thank you, buddy.
All right, buddy. All right, that's going to be Stody Benfield, our resident pastor here tonight. He gave us our tonight's invocation. So far, it looks like 9 drivers have taken a lap. Still waiting for Brian Whitney, Mark Sikochi, Robert Engelman, Jake Blackhall, Patrick Gettner, and Shane Wielden to throw down a lap, as everybody else is waiting to see what they can do. Want to say thanks to everybody in the CRN broadcast, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting who they want to see as their favorite driver. Want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that has who has subscribed to CRN, got us up over 500 subscribers. So want to thank you guys and girls very much so for hitting our goal. A lot of broadcasts going on throughout the CRN world, as pretty much almost every week we have something going on here on CRN, whether it's from myself, Ricky Gonzalez, and John Obinger, Caleb Collins, Jimmy Covert, and Carl Handwerk. There's always going to be something going on with CRN, as we got Redline Racing, we got Core Racing League, we got NSR. We have a lot of different we do have a lot of different leagues that we showcase here. Is Mark Sikochi in that Oreo number 8. He's going to bring that machine out here. He's going to start doing his timed lap here, trying to get his season back out to a good start here. Coming around to take lap number 1. Mark Sikochi out of New York, down to turn number 1 and 2. First lap's going to be a 19.659. As he's going to get a little loose, he's got to lock him up, and this second lap is not going to be any faster. So Mark Sikochi looking to be P number 9. As looking at the board now, nobody else is out there on the track. But it is Mr. Johnny Taylor on a pole with a 19.002. Then you got Matty D. Clark in second, followed by Stody Benfield, William Martin, Justin Cope, Andy Reeves, Brian Wiggins, Robert Lawrence, Mark Sikochi, and Daniel Mulnix running at your top 10. Looking at it now, nobody's still out there going to put down a lap time. Looks like all these drivers are going to start from the back, as it is not where you start, it is where you finish. As everybody is going to try their hand and to see where they can get. Want to thank everybody out there as we're going to embark on 400 laps here tonight at Myrtle Beach. It's definitely going to be a fun one as qualifying is winding down. 5 seconds left to go, and we're going to hit that grid for all of these drivers. Going to go on ahead and show the qualifying results here. It's going to be Johnny Taylor. Whoop, give me 1 minute. There we go. Johnny Taylor is going to be the pole sitter here tonight. Matty D. Clark on his outside in P number 2. Stony Bedfield on the inside of row number 2 in third. William Martin on the outside of row number 2. Justin Cope in 5th. Andy Reeves in 6th. Brian Wiggins in 7th. Robert Lawrence in 8th. Mark Sikochi in 9th. And running out your top 10 will be Daniel Molnix. 11th will be Brian Whitney. 12th will be a newcomer, Jake Blackhall. 13th, Robert Engelman. 14th, Patrick Gettner. And rounding out your 15-car field will be Shane Wielden Jr. Again, these drivers going to be out here seeing what they are going to do. 400 laps of an adrenaline-filled race. You see everybody back here waiting to get their cars on and going. Pace car going to lead these drivers out of pit lane. I believe they're going to get 2 laps, get everybody lined back up, and they're all going to go green flag racing. Just a beautiful, absolute beautiful looking number 3 car on that for Johnny Taylor. Matty D. Clark with that singular number 31. Stony Bedfield and the Morgan Shepherd number 75, Remington. William Martin in that number 6 Viagra machine, Justin Cope. And then number 28, Haviline. Andy Reeves in the number 24. Brian Wiggins in the number 5 CarQuest. Robert Lawrence in the 07 Jack Daniels machine. Mark Sikochi in the number 8 Oreos. Daniel Molnix in the number 2 Rusty Wallace throwback. Jake Blackhall in the number 97. Brian Whitney in the number 29 a Fast Break Goodwrench Chevrolet. Robert Engelman in that number 11 Denny Hamlin throwback. The Brawny number 45 of Patrick Gettner. And running out your 15-car field will be the number 43 of Shane Wielden Jr. I'm going to go ahead and go back up here as these drivers are getting ready to go green. Barney has the green flag, and we are back to racing. Johnny Taylor gets a little bit loose going through the field. Oh, there's a big wreck, and we're going to be under caution as that just stacked up the whole field. And oh man, we're going to have to take a quick look back here, see exactly what happened. You see it here, Johnny Taylor get a little bit of wheel spin. Don't think he was in the right gear. He's going to take it down into the grass, and I think that's where it caught him at. Getting down to the grass is going to send him around. But oh, look at Matty Clark getting around the 6. Getting into the number 28 machine of Justin Cope. Justin Cope going to push him down into Johnny Taylor. Matty Clark going to squeeze by on the outside. Brian Wiggin. No, Matty Clark cannot. get around it. I thought he was able to, but he was not. Mark Sikochi, Robert Lawrence, the 11, the 2, the 97, all able to get back in and through. The 43 and 45 able to get through that as well. So already, lap 1, turn 1, we have our first caution. And it's going to be Stody Bedfield with the race lead. No. Yeah. And then the 28, he's going to be able to get around the pace car here, as he had to wait for everybody to get around it before he can keep going. Stody Bedfield will be the race leader here, as he was able to get around that first lap chaos. Brian Wiggins able to get up there to P number 2. Matty D. Clark has a little bit of right side damage on that number 31, with a little bit of left side as well. Has a little bit of door crinkle there. Mark Sikochi has a clean car. Same with Andy Reeves in the number 24 machine. He was able to get around it nice and fluently. As we're going to go ahead and refresh these paint schemes. So you're going to see all nothing but white paint schemes just for a quick moment. As thought maybe the 24 had another paint scheme on, but no, it is the iRacing General Tire number 24. Make sure you guys tune in to CRN tomorrow night, as I will bring you the coverage from the Core Racing League Premier Series as they go to Bristol Dirt in the Pro 2s on a Sunday night. You can catch that action at 9:45, as that is going to be a lot of fun. But nonetheless, Barney the Flagman with the green flag in the air once again. Stody Bedfield and Brian Wiggins going to bring this field back to the green flag. Stody Bedfield on the loud pedal. Everybody gets a better launch that time. Down to turn number 1 and 2. Stody Bedfield with the lead as they are going through turn number 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, everybody side by side. Nobody is into the single file game just yet, as actually the top 3 are back to single file. But looking at this, Johnny Taylor down to the inside, going to try to get around the number 24 of Andy Reeves. He's able to do so, and here comes Brian Whitney. He's going to do a little bit of a slide maneuver on the number 24. Going to take it down to the inside wall. Going to be side by side coming off turn number 3 and 4. And here is where the turn 1 chaos could ensue. Turn 1 is just a weird corner just to get through, especially with a little bit of a turtle down there on the inside. You definitely don't want to hit those, as that could really destroy your run going into the corner, get you extremely loose. But nonetheless, Johnny Taylor trying to work his way back all the way up through the field. Got the 2 Oreo Ritz machines side by side. Johnny Taylor able to get around Mark Sikochi. And we are 10 laps in out of 400 here tonight. And Johnny Taylor is on a move, getting all the way back up there to his teammate in the 07 of Robert Lawrence. But we have a new leader. This is going to be Brian Wiggins, the number 5, able to get around the number 75 of Stody Bedfield for the race lead. And here comes Matty D. Clark at the number 31 down to the inside, side by side into turn number 3 and 4. Robert Lawrence kind of dove it in there a little bit too hard. Not going to be able to make it 3 wide. And it's give that position to Matty Clark if he can get clear off of turn number 2, and he can. Stody Bedfield going to drop back to P number 3. Robert Lawrence on the outside of Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor trying to get around his teammate here. He's going to follow Stody Bedfield down on the inside. The 11 is going to be able to come out of pit lane. And there's trouble back here with the number 28. There is a yellow flag out there on the track. We're going to go ahead and bring up a CRN replay really quick. See what happened to the number 28 machine. He's going to go into turn number 3. Looks like he may have gotten a little bit loose. Go ahead and play it full. Oh, the 6 just got in the rear back bumper of the 28. Going to send him on around. And he's just going to stop on the track, let everybody go on by. But there was another wreck that ended up ensuing. It's going to be with the number 97 on the inside of the 8. Does he hit the turtles? Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was talking about. He just got a little bit of piece of those turtles and has sent that number 97 car all the way around. Luckily, nobody was involved with the 97 spin there. But nonetheless, we are back under caution here tonight. Want to thank everybody out there in the YouTube chat tuning in here tonight. We have a lot of people out there going for the number 75, Go Faster Pastor. You have Barbara Pinion pulling for Stony Faster Pastor Benfield. Carrie Brown saying Go Faster Pastor. Nathan says Johnny confirmed losing packets. Barry Kistler, give a big shout out to Barry Kistler as he is one of the, I would say, one of the first followers on CRN, always in the comment section of any CRN broadcast, whether it's myself and Ricky, John Obinger and Ricky, and along with Caleb, Carl and Jimmy, or Carl and Mark Thomas. You will always see Barry Kistler out there in the broadcast chat rooting on any and all drivers. His all-time favorite driver will be Kevin Hollywood Foster in that number 8 machine over at Core Racing League. And I think over here at NSR, he's got 2 drivers that he likes. So that's going to be the number 31 in the 3 of Matty D. Clark and Johnny Taylor. But nonetheless, just want to say thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing to CRN. Let's get us on up to our next goal as Robert Engelman is going to be back out here on the track. Well, this looks like everybody is going to be double file here. It's going to be Brian Wiggins down on the inside and Matty D. Clark on the out. Who's going to get a good launch off the line? We've seen how these restarts can be. You got 3 of the RCR cars in the top 5, and then you got Brian Whitney in that number 29 in P number 6. Green flag is back out. Brian Wiggins able to pull away from Matty Clark there. He's going to be good to go into turn number 1 and 2. And just behind them, Brian Whitney side by side with the number 3 of Johnny Taylor all over the back bumper of that number 75. Does Brian Whitney let the 3 just go on by, follow in behind his teammate, and work his way through this field as Tony Benfield putting up a hell of a fight on that outside with Johnny Taylor down on the inside. Further on back is going to be Shane Wielden holding off the number 97 of Jake Blackhall. Shane going to dive it down to the inside in that Dodge STP number 43. Further on back is going to be Mark Sikochi getting around the number 45 of Patrick Gettner. Mark Sikochi trying to work his way back up here through the field as they're getting ready to go in through turn number 3 and 4. Looking at the turn 4 exit, you can see them. They're starting to get a little bit loose going into the turn 1 corner. And just a absolute beautiful camera angle here. Give you just what these drivers are looking at as everybody gets super close to that wall. Not going to touch it though, as we are 24 laps in out of, or 23 laps in out of 400 here at Myrtle Beach. So far, we have two different packs. We got the first pack, and then we have a second pack, as it's going to be Brian Wiggins, your race leader, with Matty Clark following close behind him. Right behind Matty Clark is going to be Robert Lawrence. Johnny Taylor and Brian Whitney are going to be your top five. Sixth will be Stody Benfield, and then number 75. But it's going to be nothing but RCR from second to fifth, as we have a pass for the lead. Brian Wiggins on the outside, Matty Clark down on the inside. Matty sent it down there. Can he make a stick? It was able to stick, but can he get around the number 5? The 07 goes into the wall, coming out of turn number 3 and 4. Matty Clark getting super close to those turtles, but not able to get around the number 5. Side by side down the backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. Brian Wiggins holding strong on that outside, and he's going to be able to keep the lead away from that number 31 of Matty Clark. Matty Clark, last week's winner at Las Vegas. Starting P number 3, working his way up, and we got a spin. Brian Wiggins down to the inside wall. And that's going to bring out another caution, as Brian Wiggins gave it the beans just a little bit too early and sent that number 5 machine down into the inside wall. That front end, just a little bit damaged there, but we're going to go ahead and throw it on back to a CRN replay as we've already seen it, but we can just show it one more time. Going through turn number 1 and 2, coming out, it just steps out from behind him. He got a little bit overzealous there. Going to slide it down. Locked him up, though. A lot of drivers would have tried to drive out of it. Brian noticed that he was not going to be able to drive out of that scenario there, and he's just going to park it down to the inside wall. We're going to see if the driver of the number 5 gets the damage completely fixed, or if he just takes fuel and tires and comes back out here to rejoin the track. As we are back here, it is going to be Matty D. Clark on the inside, Johnny Taylor on the outside, Brian Whitney down to the inside, P number 3. Fourth is going to be Stony Benfield. Fifth will be Jake Blackhall. Sixth will be Andy Reeves. Seventh, Shane Wielden. Eighth, William Martin. Ninth, Daniel Molnix. 10th is going to be Robert Lawrence. 11th will be Patrick Gentner. 12th, Justin Cope. 13th, Mark Sikochi. 14th will be Brian Wiggins. And rounding out your 15 car field will be the number 11 of Robert Engelman. With that being said, pace lights are off on the iRacing official pace car. Matty D. Clark controlling this field. Does he go a little bit early? Does he go on green? We're going to find out here. Lap number 32, getting ready to go back on her way. You can see there, Johnny Taylor going to pinch the 31 down on the inside. They're going to get a great start going through turn number 1 and 2. Looking at it now, everybody able to get through it onto the backstretch. A couple cars still double file all the way around this track, but it is Matty Clark showing the way around this track. Looking to back further that number 97 machine. Trying to do what he can to get around the number 75. Not able to do so just yet, but still going to try and work his way around. As the 97 using a little bit of a lower line, kind of, but not able to make it work. Back here though, Brian Wiggins trying to get one of those get his lap back. Oh, he loses it going down the straightaway. Great save by the number 5. That's going to bring out a caution. Not sure what happened to the number 5 there, but that was absolutely insane. Going down the front stretch. It's got a little bit loose. And see what happened to the number 5 here. We're going to go ahead and pause it here. Get a better camera angle of it. And just slow it down. I think he just went to go try to turn and the car just steps. I have no idea. I've never seen that happen that early into the corner. But he is 90 degrees sideways looking to the inside wall. Robert Lawrence has absolutely nowhere to go. And everything worked out in his favor there for the time being. And everybody was able to keep it straight. But Brian Wiggins bringing out the next yellow. Lap number 38 out of 400. Wiggins was racing for that lucky dog position. Ended up causing that yellow, so not going to be able to get the lucky dog. As he's going to go back to the back and hope for the best. And I think right now, you got 400 laps. You want to be as smooth as you can be and just let it ride out. Wait for the end of the race to start pushing the car. See what you can do, see what you can't do through the first half. And so far, Brian Wiggins has figured out what you can't do. As he's going to try to get that one lap back here as soon as he possibly can. Brian Wiggins going to take that number 5 machine all the way to the back. Believe with him being a lap down, he's going to have to start from the back and work his way all the way back up to the front. See it there, he's waiting for the number 8 machine to get on around him along with the number 31, the 11. As everybody is under pace laps here once again. Back to green flag racing once again here at Myrtle Beach. Robert Lawrence able to take the lead. Brian Whitney side by side with the number 2 of Daniel Molnix. Haven't really talked about him all night here so far, but it is going to be the number 29 of Brian Whitney. Take it away, P number 2. Now he's hot on the heels of the number 07 of Robert Lawrence. Johnny Taylor back up to P number 3. Daniel Molnix falling back to P number 4. Everybody is now single file as of right now. And Mark Sikochi back here trying to get up towards the front. Matty D. Clark behind him trying to do the same thing as Matty Clark is one lap down, and we are under caution. And oh, the 3 of Johnny Taylor hard into the pit road wall, and we're going to have to see what happened to that number 3 machine. Oh, he just absolutely clobbered that inside wall. I have to go to a quick chase cam here. See exactly what happened to this number 3 machine. Coming up off the corner. Oh, just got a little bit loose. Going to be sideways. Oh, just barely. Not a lot of damage. Mr. Taylor on that back bumper. Able to get the car backed up and going. But another caution here tonight. So far, Johnny Taylor going to go down into pit lane to get that damage repaired on that number 3 machine. Get some more fuel. And let's see if he can get anything going on that number 3 machine. Johnny Taylor taking, looks like, left side tires first. And a right side, so he's going to get 4 fresh Goodyears. And come back out here and rejoin everybody on the track. But there goes the pace car. Can he beat it out? Johnny Taylor did. And he's going to stay on the lead lap. Looking at the number 6 of William Martin. Heavy nose damage, left side damage, and rear damage on that number 6 Ford Taurus. But you're still in it, as the 97 of Jake Blackhall has taken it to the garage. Going to pack it up and go on away next week. Any reason that number 24, he's going to be starting on the outside. Danny Morris down on the inside. Robert Lawrence, Brian Whitney, RCR front row, going to bring these drivers back to the green flag. Barney has the green flag in his hand. And we are getting ready to go back to racing here at Myrtle Beach for another segment. 50 laps in, 350 to go. Robert Lawrence able to get away from Brian Whitney for the time being, but Brian Whitney not going to let him go away. Justin Copeland to the number 28, getting around to the number 24, using that inside to his advantage. The 2 and the 75 side by side give the advantage to the number 2, as he's got the advantage going into turn number 1 and 2. Down on the inside, but look at the power move on the outside by Stoney Benfield. Stoney keeping that nose on the outside, can't let that 2 up the racetrack there. Stoney Benfield using that outside. Now he's got the advantage going into turn number 1. Give that spot to the number 75. He's going to take it super wide. Going to bring it back down the racetrack side by side off turn number 2. I think Stoney Benfield may be able to get it now, as they got the race leaders 3 seconds. Already 3 seconds ahead of this battle back here. Shane Wilden to that number 43 machine down to the inside. Haven't talked a lot about him. Haven't really talked a lot about him, but he has made it up to P number 6. He's got a bad fast number 3 machine. He's just going to let him go on by down through the inside. Johnny Taylor trying to make it a 2-for-1 special down to the inside. He's going to make it happen, though. That 3 machine getting back up to the front, and I think Shane Wilden is trying to do the same thing. He's like, hey, look, if this 3 can do it, I can do it too, as we are back under caution here tonight. Gonna go ahead and bring up a quick CRN replay. See what happened to the number 28. Just got a little bit too much throttle coming out of the corner, and that's going to send the number 28 on around. He's able to get it slowed down. Doesn't hit the wall, but a tough break for that number 28 of Justin Cope. Yeah, Barry, it is going to be a lot of racing out here tonight, but these drivers can handle it. Nonetheless, back under caution here tonight. Brian Wiggins able to get that lap back. Now we have a total of 12 drivers on the lead lap here tonight. If you guys didn't tune in Thursday night, we had the CRN Cup. That was an absolute blast, as 2 races, multiple leagues. I want to thank UCRL, Redline Racing, Core Racing. I want to thank Carl Haywork and Jimmy Covert for putting it on. Just absolute amazing. I did the Kansas race in the street stocks for the Core trucks. That was a lot of fun. 140 mile an hour in a street stock around Kansas Motor Speedway. It just wide open the whole time. Bump drafting. That's pretty fun. We're actually thinking about doing it quarterly. Make sure you guys tune in to find out about that. But we do have another event in the works, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to, because it's one of my favorite cars. So more details soon to come. But just know, it's, if anybody knows me in CRN, they already know what kind of car my favorite car is. You know, I talk about it all the time. It's my favorite thing to drive on the surface, no matter what it is. It's not the Cup car. It's not the trucks. It's not the ARCA car. It's not the Gen 4 car. It's not anything. It's just one specific car that I love driving, no matter what it is. Official series, leagues. It's just one car that I absolutely fell in love with, and I can't wait to get back in it and race. That and more. We'll get you more details about that event coming up here on a CRN. It's going to be a doozy. But pace car in once again. Robert Lawrence, Brian Whitney going to lead these drivers back to the green flag. Robert Lawrence took the inside. Brian Whitney on the outside. Coming around turn number 3 and 4. Barney with the green flag. Robert Lawrence gets a great jump down on that inside. Going to clear Robert Brian Whitney on that outside. Side by side, Stoney Benfield down. Now down on the inside of the number 2, able to get clear of him, and we got another caution. And that's going to be the number 8 and the number 5. And we're going to go ahead and cut back to a CRN replay. So you see here the 5 getting up to speed. Down on the inside. Oh, just Mark Sakochi got on the brakes. Brian Wiggins didn't expect him to be on the brakes that early and just sent the number 8 machine all the way around. So another quick caution here as these drivers gonna get them stacked back up and try this again. Robert Lawrence will be your race leader here tonight. And then we have the 29 on the outside. Starty Benfield able to keep that P number 3. And then you got Daniel Molnix in P number 4. The number 45, Patrick Gettner, all the way up to P number 5. Shane Wilden up to P number 6. As the number 07, that was weird, went down, took a little bit of an access road there. I thought he went down into pit lane, but come to find out there's kind of 2 entrances into pit lane, but nonetheless, he's still your race leader. Just an absolute stacked top 10 as you got Matty Clark in 7th, you got Andy Reeves in 8th, Justin Cope in 9th, and then you got Brian Wiggins rounding out your top 10, but on the outside looking in is Johnny Taylor, Mark Sikochi, and I believe those 2 drivers are going to make a run to the front. But pace car is in once again. It's going to be Robert Lawrence controlling the pace of this field down into turn number 1 and 2. There they go. Oh, Brian Whitney, big wheel spin there. Able to keep it straight. Daniel Molnix right on that back bumper. He's going to come down, get as close as he possibly can to that number 75 machine. But here comes Matty Clark to the inside of the number 45. He's going to pressure him into making a mistake here. Side by side off turn number 4. The 8 and 3 down a pit lane. Not sure what happened to those 2 drivers, but don't want to see that happen to those 2, as they can get their laps back fairly quickly with a lot of cautions, but able to keep it straight. And I think right now would be a great time to turn up the car sounds, mute the mics, and give you guys a little bit of, you love to hear it. And we are back here. 91 laps in out of 400. And so far we are back under a nice long green flag run. What these drivers wanted to see. Robert Lawrence out front with the race lead. You've seen there the 6 gave a little bit of a shot to the number 2 and moved the 2 of Daniel Molnix out of the way. But now Daniel Molnix is 1 lap down from the number 07 of Robert Lawrence. He's looking to make his charge up to the front and do what his teammate of Matty D. Clark did last week, and that was pure domination. Looking up here, P number 6 is Stoney Benfield, and the number 75 machine. He's just taking his time, riding around, getting some laps in on those tires. He's got a hard charging number 28 of Justin Cope on his rear bumper, trying to get back around him, not able to do so. But Stoney Benfield doing what he possibly can to keep that car clean, as he is able to do so. Has a nice, good line going into turn number 1 and 2, but nonetheless making it work. Back here in the back, Shane Wilden. He's got the number 6 of the William Martin all over his back bumper. Andy Reeves is going to slip up high. Looks like the 43 is going to try to cut that turn 1 in half by taking a shallower approach there. The 6 going to be able to get the power down all the way up, try to get a run on that outside. Not able to do so. Got a little bit tight going through the corner. It was able to make it stick ever so slightly. I'm going to go ahead and ride on board with the number 07, give you a little bit of a tail view of the 07 here, show you the distance between the top 3. It's an RCR top 3 as the 07, the 31, and the 29. 1, 2, and 3. Look how deep Matty D. Clark just dove it into turn number 3 and 4. Riding that white line, you couldn't. Oh, he gets a little bit loose. Riding that white line, getting up off the corner. Just look how hard he's diving it into turn number 1 as well. He has cut that gap down to .22. Robert Lawrence gets a little bit loose. Going into the corner, Matty D. Clark, he's going to open up the door and take the P number 1, maybe, no. Give that lap back to Robert Lawrence, as now we have a 3-car battle for the race lead. All teammates here, what are they going to do? As Matty Clark has that number 31 on rails right now, ripping the inside, and here comes Brian Whitney trying to get around the number 31, but with Myrtle Beach, it kind of seems like it's a hard track to pass on. I've ran ARCA cars here, and it's not the funnest of combos, so I can only imagine these Gen 4 open setups. That's definitely going to be a challenge that these drivers have been able to overcome here so far. 101 laps down, 300 to go. I want to give a big shout out to Michael Conti in Elite Performance Industries for making the setups here for some of these drivers that have taken the opportunity to grab a set off of VPI. Want to thank Michael Conti for all of his hard work, as Matty D. Clark and Johnny Taylor are kind of the testers for the setup, and you know, they relay the information back to Michael Conti, and Michael Conti does a little bit more just to see, you know, how it would feel for other drivers. Is Robert Lawrence fell back to P number 3, going to give the race lead back to a Matty D. Clark. Brian Whitney, P number 2. Robert Lawrence running at your top 3. Patrick Gittner, and then number 45, you see the gap there into P number 4. Brian Wiggins all the way back up to P number 5. Stoney Benfield in P number 6. Justin Cope in 7th. Shane Wielden in 8th. And running out your 9-car field that is on the lead lap is that number 24 of Andy Reeves. Starting to be 2 laps down here is going to be that number 3 of Johnny Taylor. He's trying to get his lap back, but with his long green flag run, I don't see it happening. Mark Sikochi, 3 laps down to that number 8 machine. Daniel Molnix, looks like he has taken that car behind the wall. William Martin in that number 6. He looks to be out here still. So we get a good camera angle here of that number 6 machine. William Martin is sitting P number 12 at the moment, but still going to do what he can, as it looked like the number 07 of Robert Lawrence made a pit stop there. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. Robert Lawrence went into pit lane. Did not expect him to go in that early, but it is going to be Brian Whitney with the race lead, as he was able to get around Matty Clark. That 45 is starting to close in that gap ever so slightly. It was up to about 6 seconds. Now it's down to 4.3. So that 45 has got some long run speed as he's trying to catch up to our race leaders. Shane Wilden doing a battle with the number 07. The 07 is on fresh tires and fuel, and he just gets around him pretty quickly, as Robert Lawrence trying to get that one lap back off of these drivers. Shane Wilden trying to hold on to the lead lap here, is right behind him the 24 of Andy Reeves, hard under pressure from that number 6 machine. He's going to take it up high. He's got a little bit of right side damage on that number 24. Here comes the number 6 down to the inside. 6 right up on the back bumper of that number 24. Started infield. Now under pressure from the number 28 of Justin Cope. Justin Cope down to the inside, going to try to make a pass on the number 75. 75 is going to move all the way up the racetrack, let him have it. And now he's got a fast 07 and 3 right behind the number 75. Where does Stoney want to go? His 2 cars not on the lead lap. Robert Lawrence said, screw it, I'm going to go all the way up to the wall and get around here. Stoney Benfield letting the 07 and the 28 by. It's going to allow the number 3 to take it down to the inside. Johnny Taylor having a little bit of internet conditions there, but able to keep it going. Mark Sikochi getting ready to go another lap down here is right behind Mark Sikochi. You got the race leader Brian Whitney closing in on that number 8 machine. And Brian Whitney opening up a big gap to his teammate of Matty D. Clark, in that lead has grown now as the 45 is starting to catch Matty Clark. There's the distance there you seen on your screen, and they're trying to do everything they possibly can to get through this race. 125 laps in here tonight, 400 the distance. We are under caution here after the really long run. We're going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay. It's going to be the number 5 of Brian Wiggins going to come up out the corner. Oh, it just does it again. Oh, that time he hit the inside wall. Oh, to the outside wall. Everybody able to get around it. And he's able to get that number 5 machine back on and rolling. Back in a caution here, and that's going to be lucky for everybody here, as it looks like Johnny Taylor is going to be able to be the lucky dog recipient here. Matty Clark going to come out P number 2 behind Brian Whitney. New race leader is going to be the 07 of Robert Lawrence. As he was able to get back on that lead lap before that caution came out. $129 laps in out of 400 here tonight, and maybe a short track. You're seeing short track racing here with these drivers. I don't think anybody has a clean car except for that number 45 machine and the 75. So far they have not been involved in any type of incidents here tonight. Able to keep that number 45 and 75 nice and clean. The 29 of Brian Whitney going to lead these drivers to the green flag. Everybody's still trying to catch up, and we are back to racing here. Brian Whitney with the loud pedal. He's going to be going right this second. There he goes. We're back to racing here. Gets a great launch on the rest of the competition. The 45 down to the inside. Not able to get to Matty Clark. But Stoney Benfield down to the inside of the number 28. He's got the short run speed. He's got the long run speed. Can Stoney Benfield make the pass happen here on the number 28? Johnny Taylor still 2 laps down. Not battling for position, but look how close they're getting on exit. Stoney Benfield able to clear the number 28. He's going to put himself back up to that P4 position. Now he's going to start working on that number 45. The 28 gets super close to that back bumper. Almost turns the number 75 machine of Stoney Benfield. Stoney Benfield trying to do what he can to get that top 3 position. Not able to get there as of right now, but it is in control of the number 29, 31, and 45. Johnny Taylor going to be down on the inside. That's going to hinder the entry and exit of the number 75 machine. He's going to go way wide, let the number 3 pass, duck in line, and just try to follow him through this field. As we are under another caution here tonight, we're going to go and look back at a CRN replay. Stoney Benfield on the outside of Johnny Taylor, going to get a little bit loose coming out of the corner. Locks, oh, the 07 of Robert Lawrence, nowhere to go on that one. Going to absolutely get sideswiped. And that's going to bring out another caution here tonight. And that number 75 actually looks pretty darn clean. You can definitely tell he's got a little bit of door damage, but we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a replay here and look at the number 07 machine of Robert Lawrence. Get on the cockpit view of this number 7 machine. As right here, number 7 machine just gets a little bit loose. Right down in front. Oh, Robert Lawrence trying to slow down and just not able to do so. He's going to tag the number 75. Stoney Benfield coming back out here after getting all that damage repaired. And then you hate to see it, especially with the number 75 machine always running super clean. And just happened to be at the wrong place, wrong time. Getting a little bit loose coming out of turn number 4. And having that little bit of no luck. Brian Whitney going to lead these drivers back to the green flag, and they are off to the races. Brian Whitney with a great launch. back in the back, though, they are 3 wide, it looked like there for a quick second. Robert Lawrence not afraid to push the issue there, as Robert Lawrence trying to get back up there. He is on the lead lap, as you got the 3 and the 8 right in front of the field, and he is 1 lap down. So Robert Lawrence is on the lead lap as well. I think Johnny Taylor's back on. Yeah, Johnny Taylor. I don't know. It's showing that Johnny Taylor might be on the lead lap here. We're going to see, though. No, he's not. Johnny Taylor is, in fact, 1 lap down. He's going to be the lucky dog recipient if they have another crash, and there it might happen. The 07 Robert Lawrence goes through the grass. Hell of a save by that number 07 machine, but Stoney Benfield now battling with the number 3 of Johnny Taylor, trying to do what he can to get around Johnny Taylor. Not going to be able to have enough, but here comes Andy Reeves on that inside, trying to pressure Johnny Taylor into a mistake. So far, there goes Faster Passer down to the inside of Shane Wheeldon. He's there. Shane's got a lot of damage on that right side. Can he make the pass happen? Side by side. Shane's going to give him the spot. Almost comes down into the right rear of that number 75 Morgan Shepherd throwback scheme. And look at the gap he is setting on the field, as Faster Passer trying to get back up there to P number 4. As we are back under caution, we'll go ahead and look back here. It looks like it was the 31 of Matty D. Clark getting a little bit, gave it the beans. Just a little bit too early. Does he hit the wall? Just gave it a little bit of a kiss. And Matty Clark going to bring out that next caution, as we are back here on CRN with a live look, as everybody is going to go down into pit lane. Robert Lawrence is going to elect to stay out of pit road. He's going to be the new race leader, as Johnny Taylor is going to get the wave around. He's going to be on the lead lap here tonight. Johnny Taylor looking to capitalize on the mistakes he made last week with an internet connection. Going to try to make his way back up here through the field, as he was able to get back on the lead lap. But 150 laps in out of 400, and definitely going to be put on a great show here for everybody out there watching, as Stoney Benfield has the most viewers out there. He's got like 8 different households, as a lot of comments are saying out there, that he's got a lot of viewers watching here tonight. Robert Lawrence will be your race leader here tonight, as he is going to try and make it happen once again. See what he can do here tonight. Want to thank all 18 people out there watching here tonight as the lights are on at Myrtle Beach. The 07, Robert Lawrence, Brian Whitney, P number 2. The 45 of Patrick Gettner. The 28 of Justin Cope. Going to be the top 4. Robbie Lawrence, after a little bit of a mishap there, he's going to lead these drivers back to the green flag. And we are back to racing, going to get a great launch. Oh, Brian Whitney goes around. That's going to possibly cause another caution. Is Brian Whitney absolutely lost it right off the restart. Going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay here. And you're going to see it happen ever so quickly. Hard on the gas. And it just comes on around. Just a lot of horsepower in these cars right across the front bumper of the number 45. He locks it down. Does he hit the inside wall? Yes, he does. Not a lot of damage to that number 29 machine. Able to get it back on around. Oh, tough break for the number 29 machine there. Was on the outside and just got a little bit of tire spin coming up off the corner. So Robbie Lawrence will be your race leader here tonight. And they're going to try this one more time. See if Stoney Benfield up there to P number 2. See what kind of restart the number 75 machine can get here. He's got the number 31 of Matty Clark. Going to be to his inside. And so far we're seeing that the inside is where you want to be on these restarts. Looking at the chat out here tonight, Barry Kistler, darn nice paint job on that number 3. Lots of racing till this one is over by Barry as well. Kip Cook pulling for the number 75. My faster pastor. All the way from New London, North Carolina. Chris Hall. Let's go, number 75, faster pastor. Barbara Pinion. Number 75 has at least 8 households watching. Long race, but will be at Prospect Baptist Church in the morning to hear Faster Pastor preach the word. Kip Cook. Announcer's doing a great job tonight. Thanks. Thank you, Kip. Hopefully you guys love the entertainment that you guys are watching here tonight. Robbie Lawrence is going to be a race leader here tonight. Faster Pastor on the outside with another RCR car down on the inside. It's a RCR 1, 2, 3 down on the inside. Johnny Taylor all the way back up to P number 5. Robbie Lawrence has the green flag in his hand. He's going to get the early jump on the race field, and we are back to racing here as the 07 is going to get a great jump on the field. He's going to, oh, the Faster goes around, collects Johnny Taylor, and that's going to bring out another caution here tonight as the Faster gets a little bit loose. You've seen it with the number 29 of Brian Whitney, and here you're going to see it again with the number 20 or the 75. Here you go. You're going to watch him here. Gets up through the gears, and it just slings him sideways. Matty Clark able to sneak by. Johnny Taylor, nowhere to go but no damage on that number 3 machine, as Faster Passer is going to just slide the car to a halt, and everybody able to get around that number 75 machine, but a tough break for Stony Benfield. I think I gave the number 75 the broadcaster's curse, so I want to say I just want to apologize to everybody out there that was rooting for the number 75. And I gave Faster Pastor the inevitable broadcaster's curse. Robert Lawrence, Matty D. Clark, Andy Reeves, another driver we have not talked about a lot about here tonight. He's going to be P number 3. Mark Sakochi. And then number 8 is going to be P number 4. 5th is going to be Brian Whitney, as he is going to probably have to drop to the back of the line, since he was their lucky dog recipient. Still a nice looking number 29 scheme out here tonight. But nonetheless, everybody going to get these cars lined back up after that little bit of confusion there. Robert Lawrence will lead these drivers back to the green flag. If I'm that number 31 on the outside, I'm going to take it super careful. Getting up through the gears, is we got a good restart here. The 2 top contenders pulled away from the field already, as Andy Reeves back here in P number 3 has a hard charging number 8 machine of Mark Sakochi on his outside. The 43 is going to dive it in super deep. He's going to be possibly looking on the outside of that number 24 machine. Not going to be able to be there this time by, but Johnny Taylor back here trying to make it 3 wide on the field. Down to the inside of the number 45. He's going to make a stick, but here comes the 29 and the 5. Around and hard of the wall. We're back under caution. Going to go ahead and bring up the next CRN replay here tonight to show you guys exactly what happened. Going through turn number 1 and 2. Brian Wiggins just gets, hit the wrong button there. Going to go ahead and rewind it here. Brian Wiggins going to get a little bit loose coming out of turn number 1 and 2. Just gave it the beans. Just a little bit too much. And he's going to send it on around down to the inside. And he's going to hit the wall a ton. As just like earlier in the race when he was leading, just got on the gas just a little bit too hard. And that will bring out another caution. 170 laps in out of 400. And these drivers have only had one long green flag run, trying to capitalize on another one. Everybody's going to be side by side again as we're getting ready to go back to green. There's going to be Robert Lawrence with the race lead. Matty D. Clark on the outside. As Samantha Amber out there to say, let's go, Whitney. Rooting for that number 29 of Brian Whitney. Robert Lawrence, Matty D. Clark on the front row. Matty D. Clark gets away, wicked sideways, able to catch it. Down to turn number 1 and 2 they go. Brian Whitney battling side by side with Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor going to have the advantage going into turn number 3 and 4. Brian Whitney almost gets it spun around there, but we're staying green as the 43 had a little bit of problems here as Justin Cope and the 43 had some championship implications back here, able to get him back going in straight, but nonetheless Johnny Taylor got around the number 29 of Brian Whitney down to the inside of Andy Reeves. Andy Reeves going to dive it down into that corner, but it's going to be the 29 being able to power through, get around, move him up to P number 4, as it is all RCRs 1 through 4. Brian Whitney gets a little bit loose coming out of the corner. Faster, Stony Benfield in P number 6 with a hard charging Mark Sakochi following in close and behind. Nonetheless, 10 drivers out here on the lead lap, and still a lot of laps to go. Robert Lawrence is your race leader with Matty D. Clark in P number 2. Johnny Taylor to the inside of Matty Clark, who's dirt tracking it. Oh, into the outside wall goes the number 31. Going to get the car back going, and that's going to be another caution, as it looks like, oh, Faster is going to be the cause of that yellow, as he's going to dive it down to the inside. And I think, oh yeah, Andy Reeves checked up. Oh man, Faster of Stony Benfield getting caught up in that. I don't think he's seen Matty D. Clark getting a little bit loose. He had to slow it on down, and Matty D. Clark going into pit lane to fix all that damage that he just had. 180 laps out of 400 here tonight, and everybody doing what they can, as it is still an RCR 1, 2, 3. Oh, Robert Lawrence taking that little access road once again, tricking me there. Thinking he was going to go down pit lane and did not. As Robert Lawrence is your race leader. Robert Lawrence able to maintain the lead, as it's been an up and down race for a lot of these drivers. as Robert Lawrence is trying to match the speed of the pace car. I believe the lights are going to go out on the pace car this time by, and that they will. They're going to be double filed all the way through the field. I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of a Durger cam here, turn 2 entry. Just going to look and see what these drivers are going to be faced with going down the backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. See if Barney the flagman is awake. Looks like he is. He's got the green flag in his hand. Robert Lawrence, Johnny Taylor, front row. Robbie Lawrence out to a great restart there. Going to leave Johnny Taylor back. And here comes Brian Whitney down to the inside of Johnny Taylor. He's going to make that pass on the inside. No, he's not. Side by side with his teammate Johnny Taylor. Going to let him by. Further back of the pack, everybody else is single file. And Matty D. Clark, 1 lap down. Got all that damage repaired. As they are all single file, everybody got their racy pacey off. And now Stoney Benfield down to the inside of the number 6. The 6 is going to move out of the way. Let Stoney Benfield by. Faster, faster. Try to make up all them spots that he lost after that last caution. So far, so good for that number 75 machine. The number 45 of Patrick Gentner. Back up to P number 4 here tonight. Trying to cap off a good weekend here. I want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in, liked the video, shared around with their friends and family. As the season is just beginning, we still have a whole another rest of the season to go here on CRN on Saturday nights. But nonetheless, it looks like Shane Wheeldon maybe getting passed here in a couple laps by the number 8 of Mark Sikochi. Mark Sikochi trying to eye up the run on the number 43, not able to get to his back bumper just yet. But it looks like Shane Wheeldon kind of overdriving the corner there. That's going to open up the door for the number 8 machine, not able to capitalize on it. Mark Sikochi, the owner of National Sim Racing, as we watch the onboard of this number 8 machine, he's kind of hugging that white dotted line. Down to the inside goes the number 8 machine. He's going to try to cut it down low as he can go, but the 43 is going to have the power to get around him on the outside. Going to be at his back bumper coming off turn number 2. And here's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. It's one thing to catch a driver, it's another to pass him. As Mark Sikochi trying to do what he can to get around that number 43. Oh, got a good run. Oh, he had to back out of it. Almost a wreck there. As the 24 got a little bit tight, the 43 moved down to not hit him. And he is going to lose 2 spots. One of the 28 and one of the 75. Move Stoney up to P8. Justin Cope up to P7. Stoney Benfield using that outside to his advantage. You see him go a little bit way high. The 8's going to be down on the inside, not going to be able to be there. The advantage on the outside, give it to Stoney Benfield. And here comes that 28. He's going to try to get around the number 43, not able to do so just yet. They're battling with the number 24. As Andy Reeves is going to lose 4 spots in one corner. As Mark Sikochi has a windshield full of that number 75, 48, and 43. Oh, Shane Wheeldon is a little bit tight off the corner, has to back out of it. Mark Sikochi had to do the same thing with Stoney Benfield being right in front of him. And Shane Wheeldon going to possibly lose 2, maybe 3 going into turn number 1. And there you go, there you have it. Mark Sikochi getting around the number 43 machine, Matty D. Clark behind the 43 now. But up front, Johnny Taylor. All over that back bumper, the number 29 of Brian Whitney. Kind of letting Robbie Lawrence do his own thing, let him go, as these two drivers trying to catch the number 07. Johnny Taylor able to get around the number 29, and those three have checked out from the field. The 75 able to keep it in front of the number 8. Now he's got himself up into the wall. Goes Mark Sikochi. Deeper back in the pack, we got the number 43 getting passed by the 6 of William Martin. 200 laps in, 198 to go, as we are nearing the end of this race. A lot of ups and downs, but these drivers doing what they can to keep this race green. And I think right now would be a great time to give you guys another You Love to Hear It. Turn the mics down, turn the cars up, and let you hear the beautiful sounds of these Gen 4s go around Myrtle Beach. And we are back here, 234 laps down out of 400. Taking a look at Stody Benfield here. Is moving on back up here to the race lead. Second place, actually, is Robert Lawrence. Is P number 2. As Johnny Taylor was able to get around Robert Lawrence. For the race lead, the 24 of Eddie Reeves is in pit lane. As he's going to go in and get that fuel service on that number 24 machine. Look at about 2 more pit stops on the night, as these drivers can go about 122 laps on a tank of fuel, but can they make the tires last that long? Look at back here, Justin Cope with the number 29 of Brian Whitney, keeping him in his trail, keeping him honest as we are back under caution. It's going to be the number 31 of Matty Clark. We're going to go ahead and jump back to a CRN replay to see exactly what happened. Is going through turn number 3 and 4. Matty Clark down to the inside. Gets out of turn number 3. Oh, a little bit loose. Overcorrected. Hard to the outside wall. Yard sale for the number 31. Going once, going twice. Sold. As he hit that wall a ton on that outside. Back to the live scene here. And oh, you hate to see it. Is Matty Clark hard to the outside wall. That's going to bring out another caution. 239 laps in out of 400. Back under caution we go. Johnny Taylor will be your race leader here. He's had an up and down night, been multiple laps down, got back on the lead lap. Johnny Taylor with the restart button in his hand. He's going to go super early. Everybody on that outside able to get the cars going back up the green flag speeds. Johnny Taylor will inherit the race lead here. The 28 of Justin Cope going to be on the inside of Stody Benfield. Stody using that outside to his advantage. He's going to go super wide, but he's going to make that stick. Robbie Lawrence thinking about making it 3 wide. Going to think better of it that time by. give the P3 still to Stoney Benfield. As Stoney going to hold off the charge for the number 28. 28 is going to get a little bit loose. He's going to be able to correct it. And the 24 had some championship implications there. He's going to be down in the pit lane. The 75 going to be able to keep a hold of P number 3. This will be our biggest battle out here on track. He's got the 07 and the 28 chomping at the back, trying to get around him. But Stoney Benfield said, "Nuh-uh, I'm going to hold you all off." Stoney Benfield secures that third place as he gets a little bit loose coming out of the corner. Justin Cope trying to take that inside advantage away. Not able to do so, but here comes Robert Lawrence down to the inside of the number 28. Nope, he's going to back out of it. Wait till he gets that run again on the number 28. And they're going to be single file. Patrick Gettner starting to reel in these drivers as well. But it's going to be Justin Cope holding off Robbie Lawrence. Robbie Lawrence diving it down to the inside. There's a big dive down to the inside. Side by side for P number 5. Still going to be Justin Cope. Or P number 4, excuse me. P number 4, but it's going to be maybe Justin Cope coming off the corner. No, give that spot to Robbie Lawrence. He made that bottom stick super well, as he is able to pull away for P number 4. Justin Cope was just passed by Stoney Benfield and Robert Lawrence. Robert Lawrence down to the inside of Stoney. He's going to try to take P number 4 away. And there it is, or P number 3. Stoney Benfield is going to drop back to P number 4. And now you have another RCR 1, 2, 3 as Stoney Benfield drops back to P number 3. Oh! Robbie Lawrence hard to the outside wall. Able to keep it going though. Stoney Benfield not able to take advantage of that mistake by Robert Lawrence. Robert Lawrence still trying to use that outside to his advantage. Gets out of the corner very easily. Doesn't want to have another misjudged corner there. Justin Cope looking to the outside of Stoney Benfield. Not able to pull through. Stoney Benfield playing a little bit of defense onto these drivers, trying to keep that P number 4. Wants to have a good race here tonight. It's happening. 255 laps out of 400 complete. Stoney Benfield to the outside. Here comes the 28 down to the inside. Give the advantage to the 75. Almost gets up into the wall on the up corner. Stoney Benfield feels more comfortable, it looks like, in that middle lane. Lets everybody go down on that inside, side by side. The 28 dives it down to turn number 1. Give P number 4 to the number 28. Stoney Benfield now sitting P number 5. Still a great points night for the number 75. Wasn't able to lead any laps as of yet, but still trying to make it work. As Johnny Taylor has opened up a 1.7 second gap over second place. Want to talk about battling adversity here tonight. Going from the front to the back, to the back, to the front, to the front, to the back. Multiple laps down, got all of his laps back. he is now leading this race, and that just goes to show, just because you go down a couple laps early in the race doesn't mean your race is over by any means. As these drivers have now set into the pace of, okay, we got to get these last 140 laps done. As Johnny Taylor looking to set his sights on win number 3 on the season. Won the Daytona 500, won at Rockingham 2 in a row, the only multi-winner. Last week, Las Vegas was Matty Clark. And now we're here, round number 4, or race number 4, at Myrtle Beach. So it's been an RCR season, getting all the wins here between the number 3 and the number 31 of Matty D. Clark. Looking back here, looks like Justin Cope trying to put the pressure on to the number 07 of Robert Lawrence. Not able to do so just yet, but the 45 is putting pressure onto the 75. So you got 2 cars up here battling. Patrick Gettner was up towards the front for most of this race and has been battling back ever since. Everybody is single file now. No big battles going on through this race. As William Martin trying to hold on to the last spot to get one of his last back. If a caution decides to come out, he would be the next one to be on the lead lap. As all he's got to do is keep that number 6 machine in front of Johnny Taylor, as we got a pass for P number 5, maybe. 45 gets a little bit tight, get out of the throttle, got all the way up alongside of the number 75, almost gets into the side of Stoney, backs out of it. Now he's going to start to plan that run one more time. Now the gap from first to second is slowly starting to close. It went from 1.7 seconds down to 1.4. As Johnny Taylor's still your race leader, but it is a bigger battle between these 2 drivers, the 75 and the 45. Back here, the 43 trying to hold off the number 3 of Johnny Taylor, which, you know, if we go and we look at the rear view camera of this number 43, that car right behind him, that's the race leader. That's Johnny Taylor. He is closing in that gap ever so slightly, as Shane Wilden tried to pull away from Johnny Taylor, but Johnny Taylor says, you know what, we're gonna go, and we are under caution. Oh no, wonder what happened here. Is we're gonna go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay, see what happened to the number 07. He got really close. You know what? We're going to... Oh! Around goes the 07 of Robbie Lawrence. But I kind of want to look and see if he tagged that wall going through the corner. Let's go ahead and wind it real quick. Slow it down. Because he got really close to that wall. Like, I don't think you could fit a piece of paper in between that wall. Yeah, he is on a mission to get as close to that wall as he possibly can. We're going to go ahead and look at it one more time here. As soon as he comes up off the corner, that's where you see him just go down into the grass. Does he get into the wall? He doesn't. Oh man, you really cannot fit a piece of paper between that car and the wall, able to keep it off of it. But this is where it gets a little bit hazy here. You see the car already starting to step out on him. He's already trying to overcorrect. And by that time, it's just all she wrote. Going, gone. Locks him down and just slides to a halt. But you gotta wonder, are those tires flat spotted? Does he have to go in and get a new set? As these drivers are back under yellow. Pace car lights are off this time by William Martin. Able to get one of those laps back, but he's going to be down a pit lane. As Brian Whitney's going to lead these drivers back to the green flag. Brian Whitney, Johnny Taylor, you're front two. Brian Whitney off to the races, gets a great restart on that inside. And not going to be able to pull a big gap on Justin Cope or Johnny Taylor. But look at Faster Pastor on that outside, trying to make that outside work on Justin Cope. Gets into the wall. And, I think Faster Pastor's got a little bit of right side damage. Looked like maybe his right front tire maybe exploded there. But able to get the car back under him. And we are back to green flag racing. Stoney Benfield not letting the tires get warmed up. And Stoney Benfield, he's going to spin right there. That's going to possibly bring out a caution. He's going to be able to get the car back going. And we're still on a green, but up here, Brian Whitney able to get the race lead, keep the race lead from Johnny Taylor. But now we've seen Johnny Taylor's long run capability. Can he hold him off? Side by side, Patrick Gentner and Robbie Lawrence not for position. Now it's Justin Cope and Mark Sikochi side by side. Shane Wilden says, screw it, I'm taking him 3 wide. I'm going to do it. He backs out of it. Robbie Lawrence around right in front of the field. 28 able to miss him, and that's going to bring out another caution. Go ahead and rewind this and watch from Robert Lawrence's view and just see what happened to that number 7 machine, 07 machine. Coming out of turn number 4. He got a little bit loose. Same thing what happened to Brian Wiggins earlier in the race. Locks him down. That 28, man, let me tell you what. He got super lucky on that one. I thought for sure Robbie Lawrence was going to be a goner there. As Robbie Lawrence is going to stay out. Everybody else is going to pit except for Patrick Gentner. Patrick Gentner not in the pit lane. And he's going to be your race leader. Patrick Gittner coming out of pit lane as Robbie Lawrence will be on the lead lap as he stayed out. And even though he caused the caution, he was ahead of the pace car. He's going to be able to get that lap back. As he's got to wait for the there he goes, Robbie Lawrence going around. Not going to go into pit lane. And Robbie Lawrence is back on the lead lap. Brian Whitney going to be your race leader. Going to lead these drivers down into the green flag. Robbie Lawrence not going to be able to catch up to the field. Robbie Lawrence, or Brian Whitney, on the loud pedal once again. We are back to racing. You can see there Johnny Taylor trying to pinch him down ever so slightly, get a better run than Brian Whitney. Not able to do so, but we have a caution, and that helps out the 07 of Robert Lawrence. And we're going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay. Off the restart, here we go. Down into turn number 1 and 2. The 43 just gets a little bit loose. Oh, comes right down in front of Faster Pastor. Faster Pastor able to miss it. Slides it straight back up. Does the 45 get stopped? And he does. Gets caught a little bit of that number 43, but no damage on that number 45. Come to a complete stop. Shane Wielden just takes it down, gets off the track, lets Robbie Lawrence come through. And that helps Robert Lawrence out tremendously because now he can go into pit lane, service that car, and try to work his way back up to the green or the podium. Back under caution yet again here tonight. Brian Whitney is your race leader. The 3 of Johnny Taylor. P number 2, running out your top 3, will be the number 28 of Justin Cope. P number 4 is going to be Stoney Benfield. 5th, Mark Sikochi. 6th, Shane Wielden. 7th is going to be Patrick Gittner. 8th will be Robbie Lawrence. 9th will be William Martin. 10th will be Andy Reeves. He took that number 24 machine behind the garage. Not going to be able to continue. Matty Clark, P number 11. 12th will be Brian Wiggins, Daniel Molnix, and that number 2. Robert Engelman in that number 11. And in 15th in the number 97 is going to be Jake Blackhall. Going to be taking that car back around. Pace car back in for another round. Brian Whitney, Johnny Taylor, your front row. Stoney and Justin Cope on the second row. Who's going to be able to outpress who? Stoney Benfield trying to get a good launch here, but Brian Whitney Out to a great jump there. The 28 had a little bit. Oh, Brian Whitney around to the outside. Oh, catches the number 3. And we're back under caution here. And we're going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay. Brian Whitney. Great jump. Gets into the corner. Oh, he just wiggles just a little bit too much. Going to go ahead and lock it down, possibly. Yes, he just locks it down, turns the wheel straight. Johnny Taylor takes that highway up there. Just nowhere to go for the number 3. 75 gets around it. The 28 gets around it. The 43 maybe got around it. Go ahead and look here. He got a little bit of a tag from that number 29, but able to keep it clean. Move Johnny Taylor back up to the race lead as Brian Whitney is in the pit lane. Heavy damage to that number 29 machine. Johnny Taylor's going to come down pit lane to service that number 3 machine and see what he can do. Johnny Taylor getting some of that damaged repair there. You can see kind of that front end getting around. Patrick Gentner will be your race leader. Robbie Lawrence will be P number 2. Justin Cope is going to be P number 3. Mark Sikochi will be P number 4. Stoney Bedfield, P number 5. Shane Wilden, P number 6. Johnny Taylor, P number 7. And that's going to be William Martin is going to be on the lead lap, as he was able to get back on the lead lap here. So move that number 6 back up on the lead lap. 45 is going to take the inside on the number 07, and gonna have to watch the restarts here on this next green flag run. Barney the flagman's got the green flag in the air. 45 is going to be the one to control the restart here, coming through turn 3 and 4. 298 laps completed. He's going to get out to a fantastic lead on the 07. Oh, the 6 goes a little bit wide. Almost gets into the number 3 machine there. They're going to be side by side, but up towards the front. Robert Lawrence thinking about being 3 wide with Sikochi, Benfield, and himself. Able to get that figured out. Looks like Patrick Gentner. It's a little bit. Oh, there's a wreck. Oh, Robert Lawrence. Stoney. Big check up there. And we're going to be under caution. We're going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay. Going through turn number 1 and 2, Patrick Gentner gets into the outside wall, comes back down. Robert Lawrence is already committed. Moves down. Stoney had nowhere to go. Stoney gets collected in this. He's going to nose it to the outside wall. Robert Lawrence going to go right back up the track. Collect the 8. The 45 able to squeeze by. The 3 able to squeeze by as well. The 6 going to do the same. And that's going to be a big, big wreck for some of these drivers. Justin Cope will be a race leader here tonight. First time we've seen Justin Cope lead a lap. Shane Wilden, P number 3. Patrick Gettner is going to be P number 2. So far, there's going to be 5 cars out here battling for a chance, as Mark Sikochi is going to be 1 lap down. Same with maybe, nope, Stoney Benfield and Johnny Taylor able to get out of pit lane before the pace car came around. Now they got to really hustle and bustle to get back around and get with the field. Not going to be able to do so, as Mark Sikochi may be able to get there. Johnny Taylor not going to be able to. Same with the number 75. But it's going to be Justin Cope at that number 28 leading the drivers into turn number 1. As we are getting ready to go back green here once again. And Justin Cope on the loud pedal, getting a big gap on the number 45 going into turn number 1 and 2. No mistakes from the number 28 so far. He's going to be able to clear the number 45, but here comes the 43 down to the inside. The Petty Machine going to try to take away P number 2 away from the number 45. Going to roll that inside. Not going to be able to get there, but here comes the number 6, William Martin. William Martin on the outside. Robbie Lawrence on the inside. Not going to be able to make the pass stick on him. Johnny Taylor down to the inside of Mark Sikochi. He's going to take that spot away. Now Johnny Taylor's going to move on the number 6. Got a little bit of front end damage, but that's not hurting him that much, as he's trying to make his way back up here to the front. 91 laps to go here tonight. Anything can happen, as we have seen this field dwindle down to only 8 drivers out here on the track. The 6 into the wall on the outside, coming out of turn number 4. Johnny Taylor now down to the inside of the number 43 machine of Shane Wilden, able to make that pass stick. Robbie Lawrence will be the next target involved, as Robbie Lawrence trying to get around the number 45 of Patrick Gettner, taking that high arc into the turn number 1 all the way down by the Turtles. Not going to be able to get there this time by, but it is still Justin Cope out there in the lead position. Oh, we got a caution. The 8 and 43 get together, and we're going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay. See it here, the 8 and the 43 get around the 43 down. Oh, just gets in the rear bumper of the number 8 machine. The 6 able to get around Mark Sikochi. Hard in the outside wall, going to pancake it. The 43 going to be able to get it stopped and slowed down. And that's just a product of, Sikochi not being early on the gas like the 43 is. Trying to take his time, and the 43's getting on the gas a little bit earlier than the number 8. and just ended up causing that next caution. Pace car lights are out. Justin Cope going to lead these drivers back to the green flag with Robbie Lawrence on the outside, Patrick Gettner in P number 2. Or P number 3. Everybody getting back up to speed here. And we are back to green. Justin Cope able to keep it in line there, but Robbie Lawrence going to have a run down to the inside. Not going to be able to get there this time by. Back in the pack, though, Johnny Taylor getting around the number 43 machine of the 45. 8-wheel slide into turn number 1 and 2. Able to just put it up into the wall. Everybody's going to be able to get around him. In the 45, going to spin it out there. Going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay. See what happens here. The 45 just 8-wheel slides it into the outside wall and spins it down to the access pit road and ends up towing and gets that car down into pit lane. Beta Mark Sakochi coming into pit lane as everybody is trying to get their laps back whenever they possibly can. Not able to do so just yet. Robbie Lawrence is still your race leader with the 28 in P number 2. Everybody is pretty much spread out. 6 cars on the track. Started out with 17, now down to 6. As everybody is spread out, you got the top 3 under a blanket. Well, actually, yeah, top 3 under a blanket. The 07, the 28, and the 3. And just behind them, you got Shane Wielden in that number 43, but it looked like Johnny Taylor got a little bit loose going into the turbo 1. But he didn't, so he's going to be able to hold off the charge of Johnny Taylor down to the inside. Going to try to make a run at P number 2. Johnny Taylor rolling that inside a lot better than the 28 could. Side by side for P number 2. Who's got the advantage? They're pretty much even coming off the corner. Johnny Taylor going to burn up a little bit more tire equipment here, trying to get around the number 28. Because 28's not going to make it easy for the number 3 machine. See if they're almost getting together. 28 had to move up just a little bit just so he didn't get into him. Finally, 3 is able to get around the number 28. And now the 3 is going to try to track down that number 07 of Robbie Lawrence. But while we are under this green flag condition, we're going to go ahead and turn the mics down once again for the final time here tonight. Turn the car engines up and let you guys get a little bit of, you love to hear it for the final time here tonight on CRN. We are back here as we have a good battle going on for P number 2. The 28 has caught the back of the 07, looking to make a pass on Robbie Lawrence for P number 2. Not able to get there. Was right on the back bumper, almost side by side. Still give that P number 2 to Robbie Lawrence, as the 6 and the 29 are doing a little bit of battle back here. As Brian Whitty got all the damage repaired and is back out here on the racetrack. It is Johnny Taylor out to a tremendous lead here tonight. About 55 laps to go in this race. Robbie Lawrence is trying to hold on to P number 2. He's going to get a little bit loose. Justin Cope looking for the crossover, not going to be able to be there. He's going to go high now. Get a good arc into the corner. Not going to be able to be there this time by, as Robbie Lawrence playing a great defensive game with the number 28. This is the biggest battle out here on track so far. I want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in to CRN tonight. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night as I'll bring you the action for the Core Racing League, Bristol Dirt in the Pro 2 lights. Oh, a little bit of sideways from both drivers in the number 07 and the 28. The 07 able to keep it in front of the 28 so far, but now it's going to be a tale of who can save tire wear a little bit better. The 28 almost getting into the wall coming out of the turn number 4. Really diving it in. You got 50 laps to go here. When are you going to make the move to get up to P number 2? Johnny Taylor working his way up here to Stoney Benfield to put him another lap down. Stoney is currently 3 laps down, so he'll be 4 laps down once Johnny gets around him. But now Robbie Lawrence able to pull away from the number 28 machine of Justin Cope. Justin Cope trying to get back in line with the 07. Trying to get in line with him, trying to track him down, get that P number 2, and to see if he can pull away and try to catch the race leader of Johnny Taylor. Justin Cope not able to catch Robbie Lawrence. As of right now, Robbie Lawrence has opened up that 0.7 of a gap on P number 3. So far, so good for these drivers. Everybody you see there on the track map in the top right, everybody's kind of spread out. They just want to hurry up and get this race done and over with. 357 laps down out of 400. As everybody trying to find the last little bit of hope that they can grab. As tonight we did not see the Muffin Man, number 12, of Mark Thomas, Brandon Bass, and the number 32, Jacob Kaplan in the 44. Alexander Encarnacio in the number 35. Lucas Nilgis in the 14. We haven't seen the 36 since Daytona. We haven't. Pretty short field here tonight, but it is expected with a short track. Not a lot of guys out there like short tracks. Kind of like the owner of CRN, Jimmy Covert, does not like short tracks at all, but will have to race them if he has to for a league race. Go ahead, check in on the race leader here, Johnny Taylor, getting ready to, I guess, the dad's putting the son a lap down, if you think about it. So the dad is obviously Johnny Taylor. The son's going to be Mark Saccoci. Is, you know, Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint schemes here. Pretty much identical. But, you know, Dale Earnhardt schemes out here in full effect. Brian Whitney getting out of the way of your race leader. Patrick Gittner still in the pit road. Johnny Taylor down to the inside, going to put Mark Saccoci another lap down here, as he's going to be 6 laps down now. Mark Saccoci, though, not going to make it easy for Johnny Taylor. He's going to battle back on the outside. Mark Saccoci wants to stay just 6 laps down, but with Johnny Taylor rolling that inside as well as he is, looks like he's not going to be able to get him that time. I want to say thank you to all the ladies and gentlemen for sticking it out with me up here in the broadcast booth. Rearing up on 3 laps to go. Or, wow, 30 laps to go. I don't know why I just said 3, but 30 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. I want to say thank you, everybody that has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Hopefully you guys turned on the bell notification so you guys don't miss a single thing that CRN has to offer throughout the week. As everybody is still racing here, trying to get everything to kind of simmer down, as the 3 machine was able to get around Mark Saccoci and kind of pull a little bit of a gap on him. The 29 of Brian Whitney getting ready to try and pass that number 75 and then try to pass the number 8 machine. Is Brian Whitney started off his night really well and just got caught up in a couple of bad late accidents out here tonight. .29 of Brian Whitney back on the back bumper of the number 75. Going to try to make a quick and easy pass on him. Not going to be able to do it this time, but it is the 3 of Johnny Taylor getting around the number 43. And now the 43 has the number 8 down to his inside. These two drivers got into it a little bit earlier ago. 43 is going to let the 8 go by. The 07 and 28, the gap has widened ever so bigger now. So we have 25 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. We're looking here on board. The 28 is starting to catch the number 07. It looks like the 07 is able to pull him on the straightaways, but the turns, the number 28, Justin Cope, is able to reel him on in. We're going to go ahead and look at these lap times here, see what Robert Lawrence is running. He's running a 20.112, and Justin Cope's running 20.3s, but you can really see where Justin Cope's catching him in the corners. But it seems like Robert Lawrence is just pulling away in the straightaways. Going to see what this lap time is here. 20.256 to the 20.15. So these two drivers switching back and forth as the lap times are somewhat similar here. 20.181 for Johnny Taylor, 20.217, and a 20.098 for the number 28 machine. He's trying to get to that number 07. .159 for your race leader. 20.138, 20.218. So Robert Lawrence a little bit quicker than third place that time by. And they're just going to keep going back and forth with their lap times here. But yeah, it really is the 28 catching that number 07. Here is, yeah, you can see it there. It's under a second now. The 28 doing what he can to keep that car underneath of him. But with these 800 horsepower Gen 4 cars, it's a little bit harder to do. And on a short track like this, Justin Cope runs a little bit wide. Still just a little bit slower than Robbie Lawrence. Could have a battle for P number 2 as Johnny Taylor has opened up a 5.5 second gap on a second place of Robbie Lawrence. And now here's where lap traffic comes into play. Can the 07 navigate the lap traffic better than the 28? Does the lap traffic move for the 07, or do they play? Does the 07 play a pick? We're going to find out here with 12 laps to go in this 400 lap race. 28 getting a little bit loose coming out of the corner there. You heard him hike up on the gas just a little bit. You could hear the tire spin as the rev rates went a little bit higher. Brian Whitney to the outside, going to let the 6 in the 28 pass, but now the 28's got the 6 all over his back bumper. That's going to make him drive a little bit harder now, as that gap is up to 1.2 seconds. One 1.2 seconds, 9 laps to go. Can the 28 catch the 07? You see the gap there. Going to go ahead and run aboard with the number 07. The 07 doing what he possibly can to keep that number 28 at bay. Robbie Lawrence taking a higher entry into turn number 1 and 2 to get that car to arc really down into the inside, able to get the power down and out of the corner. But Justin Cope reeling in the number 07 ever so slightly. The 43 and 75 right in front of the 07 doing a little bit of battle here. The 43 gets onto the gas just a little bit too quick. Faster than Stony Benfield. So that's something that you got to pay attention to, as the gap starting to close back down even more. 0.7 of a second between second and third place. Johnny Taylor has at least a straightaway gap over second and third place. He's already out of turn number 2. These drivers are just now going into turn number 1. And that gap down to 0.5. 4 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. Can the 28 catch the 07? If you really want that P number 2, this is go time. This is where it's going to happen. Is the 28's got to make perfect and flawless laps here to get around that number 07. And right now, lap traffic playing a part in the 07 getting away down to 0.4. The 43 looking to not move out of the way for the number 07. That's going to bring the 28 even closer. 43 is going to move up the track. Robbie's going to go down to the inside, but it's going to hinder his exit as the 28 is slowly reeling him in. Robbie's going to dive it into turn number 3 and 4. Brian Whitney's going to go down into pit lane. Robbie Lawrence has the 28 all over that back bumper. What does the 28 do? This is going to be a make it or break it situation here. 2 laps to go as Johnny Taylor has taken the white flag to end this race. This race will go under green. No green white check. Oh, the 07 gets a little bit loose. It's going to open up the door for the 28. 28 is going to take it a little bit wide. Does the 28 do a little bit of a bump and run, or is he fine with P number 3? He's not going to be able to get there, but the 07 almost gets in the back of the number 43. It's going to be Johnny Taylor with the race win. P number 2 is going to be Robbie Lawrence. 3rd will be Justin Cope. 4th will be William Martin. 5th will be Shane Wilden. 6th will be Stony Benfield. 7th will be Mark Sakochi. 8th, Brian Whitney. 9th, Patrick Gettner. 10th, Andy Reeves. 11th, Matty Clark. 12th will be Brian Wiggins. 13th, Daniel Molnix. 14th will be Robert Engelman. And 15th will be Jake Blackhall. Gonna go ahead and rewind these laps, get a good camera angle of these drivers, and work on getting our top 3 in the broadcast booth here tonight. I'll go ahead and slow it on down. Close all this out. Bring in our top 3. We're going to go ahead and start with the number 28. See if we can find him in here. Going to go ahead and bring in the number 28. That's going to be Justin Cope. Justin, this is still in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing?
I mean, I'm a little bit tired, but nonetheless, you ran a fantastic race. Wasn't really up towards the front until the later part of the race, and it all came down to keeping that number 28 machine clean. What more did you need to try to track down, get the lead, and try to pull away, kind of like Johnny Taylor did at the end of that race?
I really screwed up. I should have, on that last pit, I should have went in and got new tires, but I didn't think we was that bad off, but they pulled away pretty quick coming back out for the green, but it is what it is. I mean, third, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, third place is better than packing it up on the trailer a little bit early and heading on to the next race. But you said tires. You didn't go in and you didn't go in and take those tires, but you were still able to hold on to that P3. You were so close to grabbing that P2, and I thought you were going to be able to do it there with a couple laps left, as lap traffic did not move out of the way for Robert Lawrence. I seen him get a little bit loose. Was your game plan staying on that outside to get that outside rolling, or did you not think he was going to go and get loose to the outside?
I was really just doing whatever I could to hang on to it, to be honest. It was pushing so hard right there at the end, and lap cars, I thought that was going to help me out, but it wasn't enough laps left to really make anything of it. Seemed like every time he'd get loose, I'd get loose right behind him, so it just really negated whatever he done. I never really could benefit off of it, but I really thought William was going to pass me there at the end, but that didn't seem to happen either, which worked out for better for me.
Yeah, I mean, you come in here, you show a dominant performance here tonight, finishing P at number 3, and I believe you're going to be next week. I'm not sure exactly where you're going. Let me get the schedule pulled up here. But, it's just definitely going to be somewhere good. But before we let you get on out of here, I found it. It's going to be Gateway. How do you feel about Gateway next week?
I guess about as good as this went. This is the first time I ran here with these cars tonight. So I guess Gateway will be another dose of reality come Saturday night. We'll see how it goes, see who hangs on.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be a nutrition race, because as soon as you got done with that, you got Bristol for 500 laps. So that's definitely going to be something fun to watch here tonight. But, Justin, before we let you get on out of here, is there anybody you want to give a shout-out to on the number 28 machine?
Yeah, just thank Sikosi and everybody that hung on tonight, everybody that showed up. It's really nice to be able to find a good group of guys to race with every week. Hope we stick it out the rest of the season, and good luck, everybody.
All right, Justin, we're going to go ahead and move you back on up there, and hopefully we get to talk to you again next week.
All right, thanks.
All right, that's going to be our third place finisher of Justin Cope. There we go. Oh, I couldn't think there. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to our second place finisher. That's going to be Robert Lawrence in that number 07. Robert, this is still in the broadcast booth. You got a copy.
Who are you?
You just, I don't know. I'm just the guy calling the race and, watching you bend it.
Wait, we raced?
Watching it. Well, you bend it about 10, 15 times, but, who's counting?
We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either. You just pulled a little bit. I think you're pulling a little bit of Clint Boyer saying, "Oh, my arm's getting tired. Let's get another caution."
Sure.
But nonetheless, you had a bad fast race car, led a lot of laps here tonight. And it just kind of walked me through about how tricky it was coming up off the corners here and getting into turn one.
Oh boy. I would be fine. I'm perfectly happy that this track may be or may not exist anymore. It was just the way our car was set up. I was fighting tight entry, and then with the amount of power that these things have, you had to really egg that throttle coming off. So it was kind of a balance, and I was doing a very poor job of having a balance. And then actually on the front straightaway, you actually end up getting up into the power band enough that it ends up at some point breaking the tires loose. So that's why you saw a few guys just lose it on the front stretch for no real apparent reason. So it was a bear. It was a bear. Those 400 laps were exhausting.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, we've seen Brian Wiggins do it twice, and then we've seen you do it once or twice, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I've never seen a car spin on the front stretch, but the front stretch, I've raced here on iRacing a couple times in different cars, but the front stretch isn't straight. There's a little bit of a bend to it. Like you said, the power band just gets to you. It's going to send you a little bit sideways, and that's exactly what you've seen there with you. Luckily, you didn't hit anybody. You were able to get the car slowed back down, had a little bit of damage on that front end from previous incidents, but nonetheless, you got Gateway next week. Another 400-lap race, a mini Darlington. What's your thoughts? Go fast, turn left?
Hold on to the seat of your pants and let's see if we can make this turn.
Yeah, Gateway is one of those tracks where it's either you're good at it or you're not.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a whole lot there's going to be a whole lot of off throttle, roll the corner, try not to push that right front off of it because it's again another kind of flat-ish track. So it's bottom dominant unless somehow someone rips the high side. It's been a long while since I've been there, so hopefully it's a good race. Hopefully it's a clean race. Hopefully we get a good amount of green laps in. So because this race, oofda. I know I didn't help things, but yeah, ended up with like 21 cautions or something like that.
Yeah, it's never a good race, especially at a short track. Just wipe it off, come back out next week. But before we let you get on out of here, Mr. Robbie, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 07 machine?
We gotta give a big ol' shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Conti, for putting together these sets. And then we also gotta thank Mr. Johnny Taylor, Mr. Matty D. Clark, and Mr. Brian Whitney for being such great teammates. And Matty and Johnny putting in a lot of the work on doing the last little tweaks for us. So can't thank them enough. Can't thank you guys for dealing with our shenanigans all 400 laps. And thank everyone that puts on the show.
All right. Well, Robbie, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that second place victory with your team, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Yep, I have my Jack and Coke sitting right here.
All right, buddy. You take care.
All right, later.
All right, that's going to be our second place finisher of Robert Lawrence. Going to go ahead and move on up to our third place, or our winner chicken dinner. That's going to be the number 3 of Johnny Taylor. And Johnny, this is Dylan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, Johnny. You're at the front. You're at the back. You're at the front. You're at the back. You went a couple laps down. You got them back. You're back up at the front. You're back at the back. And then finally, you got to the front. Got to that little bit of a incident there when I forget who it was, spun down across your nose, and you just had nowhere to go on that restart. How tricky were the restarts? Because I've noticed Brian Wiggins, Brian Whitney, Matty Clark, Stoney Benfield, all those drivers on that outside coming to get the gears pulled up, just spun the tires so bad that they just turned extremely just straight left.
Yeah, it was tricky getting the power down and getting up through the gears there. We had our misfortunes early in the race and throughout the race, but we rebounded back to grabbing on the win there. Car felt pretty decent.
Yeah, you talk about grabbing another win, and it seems like I just need to get a permanent spot for you up here in the booth if your internet holds up, because so far you've won Daytona, you followed it back up with a win at Rockingham, had some internet connections at Las Vegas, and you're backing it up with another win here at Myrtle Beach. For one, it's just short track racing. You know, a lot of stuff's going to happen, especially with an 800 horsepower car, open setups. But this car is a tank. Obviously, we've seen here tonight. I mean, somebody creamed Stoney Benefield. Somebody creamed Brian Whitney. And, you know, if you get the damage all the way repaired, you can come back out here. But now we go to Gateway. It's like a miniature, flatter Darlington. Robbie was talking about right front burner. What's going to be your mindset and your strategy going into next week?
Well, we're just going to work on the setup and see where it takes us next week.
All right, Johnny. Well, before we let you get on out of here, we do our closing debut over here at the NSR. Is there anybody on that number 3 machine you'd like to give a shout-out to?
I'll give a shout-out to Mark for putting on the league, you guys, and the broadcast, and EPI for all they do.
Well, looking at the chat right now, you just gained another fan, Barry Kistler. Really love your car tonight and is saying congratulations on the win here tonight. So Barry Kistler would be your number 1 fan for the NSR.
Right on. Thanks, man.
All right, Johnny, we're going to go ahead and let you celebrate with the team, and we'll be hopefully talking to you again next week.
Well, have a good one.
All right, that's going to do it for the interviews here tonight. 400 laps up and down. It was a struggle, but we ended up getting them all done. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night as I bring you the Core Racing League Premier Series as they get ready to tackle the Bristol Dirt Pro 2 Lights. That's going to be a lot of fun. Monday night, you're going to have Carl in the broadcast booth as they get ready to tackle Imola Grand Prix late afternoon. 2 races. Make sure you guys tune in on CRN on Monday night for that. Tuesday night, you're going to have the Ricky and John Nobinger in the broadcast booth as the trucks go to Indianapolis for 2 15-lap heats for the ARCA race. And then for the trucks right after, you're going to have 2 20-lap feature races at Indianapolis Oval. I'll be down in the truck, in the car, while Ricky, Caleb, and John Obinger bring you that action. Wednesday night, you're going to see me back here in the broadcast booth for the Shane's Super Late Model Showdown as they get ready to tackle their race number 5 of the season. And that is going to be Richmond for 100 laps, 2 tire sets on May 10th. You don't want to miss that. Thursday night, no broadcast here on a CRN, but Friday night, you're going to see Carl Handwerk back in the broadcast booth as Red Line Racing goes back for their race here this week. It's going to be Michigan on... Or actually, no, it's not Michigan. I lied. It's not going to be Michigan this week, but not sure exactly which track it's going to be. Oh, it's Talladega, 50 laps, so you don't want to miss that on a Friday night. Saturday night, you're going to see me back here in the broadcast booth as the NSR goes to Worldwide Technology. That's going to be it for myself up here in the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.